Hello, my friends. Welcome back to StoryPath English. Today, I want to tell you about a man who started with almost nothing. He was born into a poor family. He had only 2 years of formal school. He ran away from home when he was 17. But this man became one of the most famous people in the world. He was a scientist, an inventor, a writer, a diplomat, a founding father of the United States. His face is on money. His ideas shaped a nation, and his discoveries changed science forever. His name was Benjamin Franklin. How did a poor boy with almost no education become one of the most influential people in history? Stay with me, and if you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe to hear more. It was a cold January day in Boston, 1706. A baby boy was born in a small house on Milk Street. He was the 15th child of 17 children. His father was a candle maker. He made soap and candles. It was hard work. It did not pay much money. They named him Benjamin. The family was poor. There were too many children and not enough food. Benjamin grew up wearing his older brother's old clothes. He ate simple meals. He slept in a small bed with his brothers. But even as a child, Benjamin was different. He loved books. He loved reading. He would read all day. He would read all night. He borrowed every book he could find. His father wanted him to become a minister. That was a good job, but there was no money for school. Benjamin went to school for only 2 years. Then he had to stop. At 10 years old, he started working for his father. He cut candle wicks. He filled molds. He melted tallow. It was boring work. He hated it. But he did not complain. He worked hard, and he kept reading. When Benjamin was 12, he started working for his older brother, James. James was a printer. He printed newspapers and books. Benjamin became an apprentice. He would learn the printing trade. He would work for James for 9 years. Benjamin loved printing. He loved the smell of ink. He loved the sound of the presses. He loved putting words on paper. But James was not kind. He was strict. He hit Benjamin when he was angry. He treated Benjamin like a servant. Benjamin was unhappy. But he did not stop working, and he did not stop learning. He read every book that came through the print shop. He taught himself to write. He would read essays, then try to write them again in his own words. He would compare his writing to the original. He would fix his mistakes. He learned to write better than most people who went to university. He learned by himself, with no teacher, with no school. He also started writing for the newspaper, but he could not use his own name. James would not let him. So he used a fake name, Mrs. Silence Dogood. He wrote letters to the newspaper. People loved them. They thought Mrs. Dogood was a real woman. They did not know it was a 17-year-old boy. When James found out, he was furious. He hit Benjamin again. Benjamin decided he had had enough. In 1723, Benjamin Franklin ran away. He was 17 years old. He had no money. He had no job. He took a boat to New York. Then he walked across New Jersey. He walked for days. He was tired. He was hungry. He was alone. Finally, he reached Philadelphia. He was dirty. His clothes were torn. He had only a few coins in his pocket. He bought 3 loaves of bread. He walked down the street eating 1 loaf with the others under his arms. A young woman saw him. She laughed at how he looked. Her name was Deborah Reed. Years later, she would become his wife. But that day, he was just a poor boy with no future. He found work at a printing shop. He worked hard. He was smart. He was good at his job. Soon, people noticed him. The governor of Pennsylvania heard about him. He offered to help Benjamin start his own business. He promised to send money. Benjamin went to London to buy printing equipment. But when he arrived, the money did not come. The governor had lied. Benjamin was stuck in London with no money and no way home. He did not give up. He found work in a London print shop. He worked hard. He saved money. After 2 years, he returned to Philadelphia. Now Benjamin was back. He was older. He was smarter. He was ready. He started his own printing business. He worked from morning until night. He delivered papers himself. He did his own printing. He did his own accounting. He worked harder than anyone. He started a newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette. It became one of the most successful newspapers in the colonies. He started an almanac, Poor Richard's Almanac. It was filled with sayings and advice. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. A penny saved is a penny earned. People loved it. They bought thousands of copies every year. Benjamin Franklin became rich. He was not a poor boy anymore. He was one of the most successful printers in America. But he did not stop. At 42 years old, Benjamin Franklin did something surprising. He retired. He was rich enough. He did not need to work anymore. He wanted to spend his time on things that mattered. He started studying science. He wanted to understand the world. He looked at electricity. People thought electricity was magic. They did not understand it. Benjamin wanted to understand. He did experiments. He built machines. He shared his ideas with scientists in Europe. His most famous experiment was with a kite. There is a story that he flew a kite in a thunderstorm. He wanted to prove that lightning was electricity. He attached a key to the kite string. When lightning struck, electricity went down the string. The story may not be completely true, but the discovery was real. Benjamin Franklin proved that lightning was electricity. He invented the lightning rod to protect buildings from fires. He became famous around the world. Scientists in France and England wrote to him. Universities gave him honors. He became one of the most respected scientists of his time. But he did not stop there. Benjamin Franklin invented many things. He invented the Franklin stove. It heated homes better than fireplaces. It used less wood. He invented bifocal glasses. He could not see far and close, so he put 2 lenses in one frame. He invented the odometer. He wanted to measure mail routes. He never patented any of his inventions. He wanted them to be free for everyone. As we enjoy great advantages from the inventions of others, he said, we should be glad to serve others by our own. He also started public institutions. He started the first public library in America. He started the first fire department. He started the first hospital. He started the University of Pennsylvania. He believed that people should help each other. He believed that communities should work together. But the world was changing, and Benjamin Franklin was needed for something bigger. The American colonies were unhappy with England. The British government was taxing them without giving them a voice. People were angry. They wanted freedom. Benjamin Franklin was in England at that time. He was representing the colonies. He tried to make peace. He tried to find a solution. For years, he worked to avoid war. But England did not listen. They ignored his ideas. They insulted him. They called him a traitor. Benjamin came home. He was almost 70 years old. He was tired, but he was ready to fight. In 1775, the American Revolution began. Benjamin Franklin was one of the leaders. He helped write the Declaration of Independence. When they signed it, he said, "We must all hang together, or we will all hang separately." He was the oldest man in the room, but he was also one of the most important. The new country needed help. They needed money. They needed weapons. They needed allies. They sent Benjamin Franklin to France. He was 70 years old. He was sick. He was tired. But he got on a ship and crossed the ocean. In France, Benjamin Franklin became a star. The French loved him. They saw him as a symbol of America, a simple man, a wise man, a man of science and reason. He wore simple clothes. He did not wear a wig like other diplomats. He was different, and the French loved him for it. He worked for years. He negotiated with the French king. He asked for money, for soldiers, for ships. Finally, in 1778, France agreed to help America. The French army and navy came to fight alongside the Americans. Without France, America might not have won the war. Benjamin Franklin had done it. He had secured the alliance that won the Revolution. After the war, Benjamin Franklin came home. He was 80 years old. He was in pain. He was weak. But he still worked. He helped write the Constitution of the United States. He was the oldest delegate. He could not stand for long. He had to be carried to the meetings. When the Constitution was finished, he gave a speech. He said, "I agree to this Constitution because I do not expect anything better. I hope it will be good for our country." He was not perfect. He knew that. But he believed in working together. He believed in compromise. He believed in building something for the future. On April 17, 1790, Benjamin Franklin died. He was 84 years old. 20,000 people came to his funeral. It was the largest funeral in American history. He left behind a simple grave. The stone says only, "Benjamin Franklin and Deborah, his wife." But his life was not simple. He was a printer, a scientist, an inventor, a writer, a diplomat, a founding father. He started with nothing. He ended as one of the most important people in history. Benjamin Franklin's story teaches us something important. He was not born rich. He was not born with power. He was not born with connections. He was the 15th child of a candlemaker. But he had curiosity. He wanted to understand the world. He read, he studied, he experimented. He never stopped learning. He had discipline. He worked hard every day. He made a plan. He followed it. He improved himself. He had humility. He knew he was not perfect. He made mistakes. He admitted them. He learned from them. And he had purpose. He did not just want to be rich. He wanted to make the world better. He wanted to help others. He once said, "If you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." He did both. Benjamin Franklin's legacy is all around us. Every time you go to a public library, you are using an idea he started. Every time you see a fire station, you are seeing something he helped create. Every time you turn on a light, you are benefiting from his discoveries. Every time you read about American history, you are reading about a man who helped build that history. He started with 2 years of school and ended as one of the most respected minds in the world. Not because he was lucky, not because someone gave him money, but because he never stopped working. He never stopped learning. He never stopped trying to make things better. Benjamin Franklin once wrote his own epitaph. He said, "The body of Benjamin Franklin, printer, lies here, like the cover of an old book, its contents torn out, stripped of its lettering and gilding. But the work shall not be lost, for it will appear once more in a new and more elegant edition, corrected and improved by the author." He believed that life was about improving, about learning, about becoming better. That is his true legacy. Not the inventions, not the fame, but the example. A man who started with nothing and became something. A man who used his mind to change the world. And that is a story worth remembering. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like this video and subscribe to StoryPath English for more stories that help you learn English naturally. And tell me in the comments, which historical story do you want to hear next? Where are you watching from? I love hearing from you. See you in the next story, my friends.